Hello, everybody. And happy 4th, happy day off, happy. I see Mike's Chaotic Gardening is in here bright and early. Of course, Dolores was here bright and early. My hair is sticking up over there. Uh, our treasured home, Nancy, thank you. Welcome. For those of you who are new, I thank you. If you like our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and put on your notifications so that you will know whenever I go live. Thank you, subscribers, channel members, and those of you who are in the bushes. I know that a lot of you are with your families today. It's a holiday. I went to visit my mom on Sunday and spent quite some time there because I was at the house like 5 or 6 hours. We had a big storm. Then I came back to where I live. And then this morning, one of my sister friends, who actually lives in my building upstairs, came and helped me do some things. And I did a harvest for Saturday. Oh, that's why it's not that much light in here, because I didn't open the blinds. I closed the blinds to try to keep it cool in here in the afternoon. So, everybody, welcome. I have been such a busybody. The beginning of the month. Well, maybe that's when, I don't know if that's when you guys pay your bills, but that's when I pay mine. So I'm running around picking up prescriptions, and I got home. I started to take the one for my thyroid, and I'm like, I was going to mix the new ones in the container with the old ones, and they were the wrong color. And I'm like, what the heck? I called the pharmacy. They filled the wrong prescriptions. You know, I wonder how our elders make it. The craziest things happen everywhere all around, especially in the medical fields. It's like getting help by yourself, making appointments. I was supposed to have an appointment for tomorrow, the 5th of July. So when the person made it, I said, well, that's the day after a holiday. Most people are taking a long vacation, and I guess we'll be the only ones here. So she said, we'll be here. Then I get a call back. Oh, I did forget something. I forgot my phone so that I can see the chat, or I just won't look at it. I'll get up in a little while and go get it. And then I get a phone call from her a few hours later, and it says, oh, we need to reschedule your appointment for July 5th because the doctor won't be here. I'm like, didn't I say that? Hi, sissy. Thanks for coming and welcome. I love you. Egowamote. So then I call back and I said I'd like to reschedule the appointment that I was misscheduled for. And when they gave me an appointment for August, from July 5th to August, I'm like, anyway, let's talk about something else, because there is nothing I can do about that. And it just is what it is. I will have to take careful. Mike said he had 180 metformin pills for blood sugar replaced with morphine. What? Good gracious of life. That could have been a deadly mistake. And 180? I think even if you're in pain, you can't get that many, Mike. I had hey, Odom, thanks for coming and welcome. I had a whole knee replacement, and I think they gave me enough pain pills to last for exactly 1 week. Not 1 week and one extra dosage. Nothing. You garden now. You're off the meds. Oh, Oh, so can we play the commercial and I'll be right back because I would like to be able to see the chat. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Okay, everybody. So I'm back. Miss Shirley is in. Welcome. Let me put my glasses back on. So Miss Shirley says, how you doing? Oh, speaking of sisters, of course, Joanne Stephen is my biological sister, but my sister, my Renaissance grandma, sent me a package and I opened it on Saturday. I couldn't sleep on Sunday. I was deboning, look at this, deboning the shorts and one of the skirts she sent. These are all ready to be cut up and made into my mother's quilt. So now I have enough to make her king size denim quilt. Darth X, how's the weather up your way? Up your way. So I had my phone ready, everything was ready. And then when I rush around and do things at the last minute, I always get turned around, leave something somewhere. So let's go find Garden Quilt and Art Traditions and see what you guys are saying. Is everybody off from work today? Casings 55. Hello, and thank you. I would like to thank each and every one of you. And of course, my Joanne Stevenson saying hello, Odom, Darth X, everybody. So, what did I do in the garden today? Because I didn't do my own crossbody phone bag. My phone was in my cart while my friend and I were out in the garden, and my one of my wooden raised beds, the bottom fell out, and the good soil was on the ground, so she helped me scoop it all up so that I could put it in my tin beds when I get them put together. I'm going to put them in that spot. So I politely went over and sat on the stairs, brought her some water and the gloves, and I cut a couple, excuse me, cut a couple branches on the raspberries. The raspberries are going crazy. Wild raspberries over there. So you really have to keep them cut back. Keep them cut back. Girl Dad cooking up deliciousness. Did anybody cook today? Who cooked and what did you cook? Put a one in the chat if you cooked anything or if you had leftovers. Darth is saying, Mike, glad you're okay. That's a terrible experience. That's a terrible experience. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, someone asked me about how you get the batting in the middle of a quilt, Maybe they'll come in. Maybe they can see the Our Treasured Home cook, girl dad cooking up deliciousness. Wish I could get a plate, y'all. Wish I could get a plate. You made rice and you're getting ready to make a veggie fried rice. Nancy at Our Treasured Home, I saw you making tortillas out of pea flour. I mean, that's genius. For those of you who have an intolerance to what do you call it? To things that you can't have, I forget, glutens. She made some, and she's been making her own flour out of a lot of things. So, veggie fried rice. I think I'm just going to rest. I had physical therapy last evening. I don't like evening appointments for anything, but I did go. Then I had about 4 stops on the way home. Traffic was crazy because I'm in New England, and of course the 4th of July weekend, everybody's going up to the Cape Cod, up in that Martha's Vineyard, out in that direction, places that places that's colder than here, and I'm just getting out of town. So I was stuck in traffic. For those of you who are new or coming by on the repeat, the what's scrolling across the bottom of the screen is what this channel is about. And what is it is about is I have lived through 8 generations of youngness, and I'm a daughter, sister, mother, great great grandmother, and I do all of the traditional things that my grandmothers did. I even knew one of my great grandmothers. I can make soap, I can ferment, wine making, kombucha, you name it. You name it. I could do it. I could do just about anything. And I love doing just about everything. I'm never bored. People say they're bored. I'm like, how can you be bored? There aren't enough hours in a day for me to get not bored. Not bored. So I'll wait until about 4:15, and then I'll show you some things today. We have a lot of people that come in who crochet. How many of you crochet? Put a 2 in the chat if you have ever crocheted or if you know how to crochet. It's funny, I was rushing around, flitting around at the last minute, excuse me, and I put my phone someplace in the bathroom because I always brush my teeth before I come on. Left the phone in there. I threaded my sewing machine, left my bell over there. Oh, okay, Dolores, Joanne Stevens. So, and then I got a phone call just before I went on. Dolores and another subscriber were looking for me because I usually check in early and they couldn't find me. Guess what? I had checked into the wrong live. I had checked into the live for next Thursday. And I said, oh, that's okay. Dolores can take a day off. She doesn't have to I appreciate everything she does and coming. I appreciate each and every one of you all. And it was me. I was lost, and now I'm found. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Odom, that one was for you because you always sing. I know I can't sing. I know I can't sing. So, for those of you who crochet, oh, and guess what? I don't see black very well. 2 weeks ago, I sat right up here and told you I was going to start using my Bluetooth earphone, and I had the little case out. Guess what? It wasn't the Bluetooth. It, it might could have been bad talking about miscommunication with the prescription, it could have been fatal. Fr. Humphrey, thanks for coming and welcome. You got here just in time because I want to show you one of my prized possessions. It's over the back of this chair. Let me and my rotator cuff get it. But speaking of the medical professions, my great granddaughter took a test. She's taking a class doing something in the medical field, and she got 100 on her exam. I'm so proud of her. So what I'm doing is taking this queen size crocheted bedspread. I don't know if you could see all the patterns in it. I will try to hold it up so that you can see them. Can you see this? I'll put it this way. And it was connected with like a single crochet. Now you can see it better. So this was a gift from my last husband's mother. She crocheted this. This is very, very, very big. And it was crocheted with a very, very small crochet hook. So this is, again, one of the traditions that has been in the family for a very long time. And why my legs are so tired, I see everybody posting their it's not little, posting their exercise routine. So I need to do more with my arms and shoulders. But right now, when I go to the gym with a trainer, I go to an orthopedic sports gym. Oh my goodness, I bicycle on the life cycle for 10 minutes. Nope, it's not a Peloton, but it is a bicycle. So I get on there for 10 minutes. Then I use this big medicine ball. I do hip raises. I do clamshells. I do something. Mind you, I have weights on my legs. Then they stretch me. That part hurts. Um, my regular trainer is on vacation, so I wasn't screaming like a wimp yesterday when they bend it. The flexibility. They're trying to get it to 120 degrees. Then they call squats sit to stand. So they make sure that you put your hands close to you and you have to squat exactly over your hips. No cheating and leaning forward. So I did 30 of those, 3 sets of 10. Then I do leg braces with 60-pound weights, and I do 10 sets of those, leg curls, some other things with weights. Man, it's like my legs are like jello when I leave there. Then going down, the hourglass program. No, it actually is squares set on the diagonal, Felicia. They're maybe if I only get one layer, they're squares set on a diagonal, and then one by one by one. Yes, Mike's above my muscles. Yes, yes. So, and then to get to my community garden, you have to go down a lot of steps. And I take my little cart. And did I have Hershey? Yes, I did have Hershey. And I had already taken him to the park. So, what I, oh, and when I got home last night, I ate my dinner so I could take my meds. I wake up, the meds are all in my hand, all over the bed. Ruby Spot. Hey, I I saw her poetry. For those of you, she had a poetry reading on Saturday, and several people participated. And I think she's going to have a poetry reading the last Saturday of every month. And some of the poems were just so touching and gut wrenching, just touching, touching, touching. She had my heart beating fast listening to her read it. And when you listen to the poet doing their own reading or the author reading their own book, it's always so much real. It's like you're living the story along with them. So, what I'm going to talk about today is something called applique. I wanted to show you Miss Shirley OG. Most OGs crochet and do a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. And you're welcome, Ruby Spot. You touched me. You touched me. So, what is applique when it pertains to quilting? Applique is just as the French word sounds, you're applying fabric on top of other fabric. And how do you get it to stay? There are several ways. You can take a hand needle and just turn the edge under. You can use a sewing machine. You can do with the sewing machine, you can do what they call rough edge applique, where you just sew along the edges with your sewing machine. Then there is a machine embroidery that you can do with an embroidery machine. And what you actually do is, I don't know if you've seen like Unbiased when she takes her embroidery machine. Francesca, thank you for coming and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You take them. It's a embroidery frame. Just like when you were little, you probably saw your grandmother's embroidery hoop. Well, you can actually use any plain embroidery hoop on any sewing machine as well. There are different ways. You can use a sewing machine that's made for embroidery, and you put different pieces of fabric on different colors and you make different designs. Francesca says, thank you kindly to be here today. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. You guys are my family. So I couldn't go see mom and that part of my family. Auntie Joanne is in here. You all are my family. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. You notice I didn't say all friends become family. Oh, no, 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 no. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody on social media is not your friend. Yes, you have friend status, meaning they are associated, but most people get it mixed up. That's why they get their feelings hurt. That's why they get into a lot of situations. But you have to keep your friends close and your enemies closer. You need to know which is which. But good friends become family. Hey, sweet thumb. Thank you for coming and welcome. So, going into the different kinds of applique, I mentioned to you the third one I mentioned was the embroidery machine, which is like you pre program it. And when you get to a certain part, it'll say, well, put this color fabric over here. And then it'll say, put this color thread in. Or you may have a machine like Unbiased, and it holds many spools of thread. I have a pretty fancy embroidery machine, but it only has one head. So I have to change the thread uh, very, very frequently. Hold on one second. I think I'll show you. Oops. I have to drop something or it's not a live. So when I go to classes and I take my embroidery machine, and see that's one of the differences with a single head embroidery machine. I can take that machine out with me. I can take it different places. Would I put it on an alternate power source like one of the battery things? No. In fact, when I put my more expensive sewing machines, when I use them, all of my sewing machines, I put into a power, a surge protector so that it doesn't mess up my machine. Clovis Gardner, you made it back. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, what I would like to show you is, if I can, uh, so whenever I go to a class or teach an embroidery class with my embroidery machine, I take a sample of all of these different threads, different threads, because that's what makes all the designs in an embroidery machine. And these are rayon. This is more thread. I don't usually take all of these different colors. There are more down there. And I happen to have a baby lock machine. This is some tearaway stabilizer. This is a place that I buy some of my threads. Every color in the rainbow, I try to have a little piece of some of it. So, yes, I take this. This little pipe cleaner is for cleaning out some of my when thread or lint gets caught in my baby lock. But what I wanted to tell you about a baby lock sewing machine and a brother is that their parts are interchangeable. You can use the same bobbins and you can use some of the same equipment. One of my friends in Arizona, she comes in sometimes, Susan's Blissful Acres, she has a 15 head machine. It's a pretty big one. Excuse me. That was Dusty's father, my allergies. Maria, you're not late, you're here. There's no such thing as late. You're right on time. So, she sent me, when she got her big 15 head, she sent me some of the hoops that she had from her other brother. So I have it over there. So now we were just talking about embroidery applique on an embroidery machine. And the last part of applique, we talked about hand turned applique. We talked about rough edge applique, where you use any sewing machine. Thirdly, we talked about embroidery applique, which you do on an embroidery machine. And then there's the type of applique that you can do on any sewing machine. And you can use double sided, I like double sided heat and bond. And what you do is, this is something that we're going to work on. Someone asked me how to get the batting in the middle. Catherine's gardening. How? Hello, my neighbor. She's in Zone 6B as well. So, what I'm going to show you guys is this, because this is the reverse of what I'm going to work on and show you over there on the sewing machine. I'm glad this little piece got lifted, because the double-sided heat and bond you put on the back of your fabric and then you trace a pattern out. You see how these look like clouds or whatever? I'll show you what this is, the back of, and then you normally either hand sew it or pin it, you do something. But this, because it's double sided, you place this part face down on top of fabric. So this is applique. You're applying this black onto some strips that I have already sewn together. Why? To make it look like a background. I wanted this top part to look like the sky. I wanted the bottom part to look like trees. So let's go over to the sewing machine. Kay Renee, thank you for coming in. Welcome. You can move some of that exercise equipment. I know your sewing machine, your Husqvarna, is in that room where you're doing all of your exercises. I already know because I saw you in there in that closet. Passionately intrigued art. And hello to anyone I did not see to say hello to. Blame it on my eyes and not my heart. Okay, so you got that right, Auntie Ellen. Oh, a Necky sewing machine. We have two Nickies at Mommy's house. My grandmother, yes, 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 Francesca. My grandmother has two Necky sewing machines. The room that I slept in before I moved to this this apartment at my mom's house, the room that I slept in actually had a Necky sewing machine that I used for a desk. It was a table model Necky. And I think she had another Necky. Joanne Stevens would know. My grandmother had three or four machines. I have her big industrial machine in here. It's in the corner. I just have to set up cameras so that you guys can see me over there. So, Kay Renee's Garden is saying, Happy 4th, everyone. So, now I'm going to go over and show you these pieces on here just because I'm frugal or thrifty, whatever you want to call it. I didn't want to throw these black pieces away, so I'm going to make a second art quilt, but the art quilt, this is called applique. All right, so let me see how I'm going to get all this stuff over there. I will leave the bell and welcome aboard the GQUAT family reunion bus because good friends become family and family is everything. So I showed you the container with the thread. When I go to, I can take this single head embroidery machine anywhere and sew, but I plug it into a wall and I take all those threads, I take fabric. I have this huge case, which I should not have gotten because it says baby lock. And anybody knows that if they see that, something good is inside. I just should have had just a plain old suitcase or something. But I was so proud when I was able to get that. And I wanted all the toys, all the bells and whistles. You have to increase your focus and patience. You can do the sewing and crochet. How do you eat an elephant, Ruby? One bite at a time. Oh, you guys, I'm glad Ruby's in here because I double dare and defied her and Dolores. They are in a contest. I don't care how long it takes them. They both have to drop a seed of some type this this summer and grow something and grow something. It doesn't matter what. And no, don't buy a start. If whoever wants us to send them some seeds, Ruby Spot, Dolores, I know you're over there. Oh, and Dolores and Maria, your packages will be there Monday. Okay, so let's go over to the sewing machine because I'm going to show you the actual piece that I am working on. Is that light bothering you all? So, this is the actual piece that I'm working on. So you see this? What this is, and I've picked it up before. It is several strips of fabric. When you paint, PIA can tell you, or anybody else that paints, how you get depth in a painting is that the further back something is in the distance, the lighter the color. You add gray in the picture, you add white. The closer to you it is, it's dark. So this is a pattern I put on type. I put it on the Heat and Bond light. Heat and Bond light. I'm looking. I have a big roll of it. I have everything in here. So this is a big roll of Heat and Bond light. It's 5 yards. You can buy a single sheet of it. You can buy a single sheet at Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Joann's, any of the stores. And you can draw, you can trace any pattern on it. You can take this and take it to your window and trace a rose, any pattern, and make something. Ruby Spot. Hey bestie, we gotta grow something. Yes. Well, you in the game now. You in the game. And we jumped you in the game. So so okay. You trace anything that you want on Heat and Bond. It's a double-sided type of a deal. And then you cut it out and then you take your iron and you press it. You know, the other one I showed you, it was sticking up a little bit. This one, I heat pressed it down. I heat pressed it down, all the way down. Unbiased the other day was explaining to you guys the same thing. Pressing, you don't iron in quilting. Ironing is when you drag the iron back and forth. And when you're dealing with adhesives, you are pulling it to different sides. You don't want to do that. You want to hold it for several seconds and pick the iron up and move it. You can use a heat press. I have a small heat press over there. My granddaughter has a big heat press that I can use if I need it. By the way, let me show you one little thing that is a quilter's friend, a sewer's friend, and that's markers, because invariably you are going to sew something and the stitch is going to go. Okay. Catherine's Garden and Home says, yes, we must grow something. She has such beautiful gardens. And what you do with these markers, if you have a thread, if you've sewn outside the line, just color it. Just color it. When I had a long arm quilting business, a lot of my friends would do this. Like if there was something or the wrong color thread, you can just make it the right color by coloring over it with a fabric marker. Any marker, actually, because it will probably hold the color. So I just put this over here to show you all. And now, most people call quilting anything that's sewn together, but actually, anything that is sewn together to make a quilt is called patchwork. So, what is quilting is when you're sewing through 3 layers. So, what you do, and I had the question, how do you get the batting in? So, this is the backing. Why did I use this? Because it looks kind of like the forest and trees. So I put that on the back. And you always iron your fabrics. So you put this down on the face down, or as some people put the pretty side down, the right side. You put that down. You put that down, and you see my this small quilt. I make sure that my backing and my batting, I made them about the same size, but they're 2 or 3 inches larger than the piece that I'm working on, because as you sew, it takes up the batting and it shrinks. So, and then when you start sewing, you always start on the inside, because this one is trimmed in black. I didn't want, and I'm going to quilt it in black. I didn't want, I didn't want, I wanted you guys to be able to see it. Whoa. I wanted you all to be able to see it. So I put some gold thread in because I thought you'd be able to see the gold. And I put a little line of stitching on the trees because it took me forever to actually sew on this. And it's hot outside. Part of it has started raising, but all I have to do to stick it back is to reheat set it. This, normally you put a lot of pins in when you're quilting. This you don't have to quilt. I mean, you don't have to pin because it has double sided adhesive on there. Are there any questions so far? Okay. So, and you can also use gloves. There are different kinds of gloves, and it helps your hands not slide on here. I don't know if I have any of my quilting gloves in here. I have so many things. I try to show you all a little bit of everything so that you have a general idea. And there's no two people that do things the same way. And I will just use my hands. So there's something called, there are different styles of quilting, different ways of stitching. So this one, an echo stitching, is when you go and follow pretty much just the general outline of something. So that's what I'll do on here. And it's just to give you all a general idea. And I'm doing it on this side because I'm trying to make sure that you can see, because you'll be able to see the gold stitching. So I'm going to put a couple stitches forward, a couple stitches back. Okay, so what happened? Uh-oh, that didn't sound right. Yeah, you can tell when, it's like a baby, when you know something isn't right. So I'm going to take this out and put the bobbin back in because the bobbin was loose. So I don't know, maybe it wasn't in there right. Put it down. When I pull the bobbin thread up, I like to do it before I put the little plate back on. So you pull the bottom thread up and you put it in the back, then you put the plate back on. Hey, David Corey, where have you been, sir? Long time no see. So we're just talking about applique on a small, let me make sure my stitches are right, 3, the needles in the center. Okay. Did you say, oh my goodness, we have a visitor, y'all. Okay, would you like to come up, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, everybody.
Hello,
This is
hello. How's it
a
going, everyone?
Renaissance Dad.
Yes.
Long time no see.
I know, right? Ego Amateg. Much
Ego
love.
amote. Ego amote.
Yes, ma'am. I see you doing your thing, and I
Yeah,
had to share something that I got in the mail, and I apologize for the delay. Right? It's been a some things be happening in life sometimes.
life
Do
be
you mind if
life.
I share? Or
Yes, sure, you can share.
okay, I'm gonna start off with this. We got a package, y'all.
We got mail.
And thank you so much for how you even took care of everything in here.
You're welcome. As Dolores said, you're not going to get in my package. You think you're going to steam it open? You see, that
No,
was
it was
not
so
happening.
well kept and packaged. I couldn't even like, yo, you did
You
your
took you a
thing per
minute to get in
usual, you know. And this thing here, oh my God, you you must have known that we were going camping. You must have known
I
that,
didn't.
man, the back, like, look at the bottom part. Like, look.
They actually saw me working on it, but they didn't know who it was for.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're
This right
welcome.
here, I am literally going camping with this, and I got a few things that I know is gonna look like lessen my load when I start packing things. So I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And the detail is the part that I didn't show because I'm just trying to show it in a blur, I guess. But oh, I showed my dad this on FaceTime because he's not here in Cali with me right now.
And what did he say? That's what he wanted. Did you tell him how heavy it is that you could put
Yes,
it on your
yes,
feet and your
yes.
whole body stays warm?
Oh yeah. And this thing right here, I don't know if you can see it. Am I getting clear? This
Yes.
thing right here. Let me see if I can get it clear. Wait, is it clear? And I didn't even unfold it for the camera. But when I
You,
showed my dad this earlier today, Jesus, he was like, "Are you serious?"
that's the old kind of quilts that his mama used to make. Those old country
Literally.
quilts with the
Yes, yes.
yeah. I'm
Not
glad.
only does it have weight, but the quality on this thing. Oh my God, the patchwork, everything.
Thank you.
And I was like, Dad, you think it look like something now? Just wait till you feel it.
It feels really nice.
Yes, so I'll repackage it, and I want him to come out, but I told you about his situation, so he couldn't travel. But I thank you so much for just even, thinking about us, and the army bag for sure, the camo bag, I love it, and of course my dad and mom. My mom was like, maybe that should be for me. I was like, no, that's for pops,
Wait, your mother said that?
Huh?
Oh, she'll be under that. But you know what? That it's small. It's a personal size quilt, but I forgot the dimensions of it. But I know if you just put it across both of their feet, they can both stay
Oh
warm.
yeah,
You
oh
don't
yeah.
even need to pull it up.
But all right, I'll tell you something personal that Dad told me. He
Okay.
said, your mom always steals the covers, so now she can't steal this
She can't get that one. She can't take that one.
one. And I was like, you know what? That was so relatable. Like I get it.
That's funny. My mother has enough because Miss Vanessa, our Renaissance grandma, sent
Mhm.
me a couple more pairs of jeans, and I had a lot of the darker color jeans, but I wanted
Okay.
some with the lighter colors, so I have enough to make 12 patches that are 6.5 inches
Okay.
by 16 and a half, so I can start putting mommies together. But look, I didn't take a picture in my garden today because I didn't have a crossbody bag of my own to put
Fair.
my
So
cell
I
phone in.
apologize. I took yours.
No, that
But this
was
is
that
gonna
that
get
one's
to
too
work. We're
too
putting
big.
this to real
I
life
just
use.
wanted
Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted a pocket,
Mhm.
that was lightweight that for me to carry around.
Same.
Oh, and then after I put that in the mail to you, my granddaughter called me and she says, "Nana, do you have any more? Can you make me a bag like my husband's?" I said, "That bag already went out. It went out for Father's Day to someone."
Yes,
And
ma'am. I'm not trying to make anyone jealous now. It's all love.
what is I said, she knows there's two legs in one. I said, well, those pants came from your husband, and he asked me in for Christmas. He says, Nana, when he was collecting jeans, he says, Nana, can I want a crossbody bag? And she was all disrespectful, talking about a man's purse and all this. She was being
We don't
shady.
have to get personal, right? I
So then she said, Sharita, I'm sorry. That one went out. I'm like, I don't have any more of that fabric. I don't know if you guys can see, like right over here. I just sent online and ordered 3 yards of camo fabric because you all won't let me quilt. You you all, I love to quilt. You all, GT Junior. Hello, nephew. How
GT,
are
good
you
to see you,
doing?
brother. Much respect.
I saw you. I saw you in the car yesterday. You touched my heart too. You touched my
Hmm.
heart. He was talking
Big
about
testimony. Yeah.
something. Yeah, you guys touch my heart. When I say you're my kids, it's because you're not children. You're grown men and women, but I'm so much older than you guys. And
No,
I
don't
feel,
say that. You're
but
wiser than everybody, but you
I,
from
I
the fountain of youth.
I love being an elder. I feel so
Amen.
respected and so loved when you call me your elders. Number one, everybody don't get old or be
Facts.
an elder, and they don't get the respect of someone wanting to call them an elder. So
Hmm.
it's
Amen.
like in Africa, in Japan, the elders were respected.
Yes, ma'am.
They
Yes,
were
ma'am.
respected. I have goosebumps because you guys really, really touch my heart. You really touched my heart.
Mhm.
And thank you, sir, for coming
And much
up.
respect to that, Auntie. I don't like to share about our relationship and connection, but
Or that you called me on the phone because you couldn't find me in the chatter of the back room and I didn't answer the phone.
yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
Joanne Stevens will tell you that about her sister. The phone is not on me. I need to make one of these for my for my for my own self so I can keep up with my phone. My
Okay,
phone and I
okay.
are never in. This one is almost ready and I think I will. I need to put some strips on it to tie it. But I couldn't find my phone when I was trying to go live here today. I had to take a break and go find it. You guys keep me on point. You keep me on point. Thank you.
I do want to say something before I drop. When it comes to elders, right? The respect is definitely it's assumed and it should be assumed, right? And I think a lot of people have this thing about, oh, they're elder, but they don't do anything good, so we can't respect them. No, if you're an elder, you automatically get respect. Period. Now, what you do with your leadership as an elder is a certain thing. But as an elder, you should automatically have respect from anyone younger
You
than
won't
you.
touch my heart. Yes.
And that's something that I never compromise on, right? Because these are the people that actually invested in me when they didn't have to. They really looked out for everyone when they didn't have to. But it was their duty, right? To
That's
do
how I
so.
was raised.
Right. And that's just what I wanted to say. Yes, you are an elder, but you're even more than that. If anyone tries to play with you, you know, like I just don't play games when it comes to disrespect, especially with my elders. I
Thank
don't
you.
I don't tolerate that, but it's all love, but I just don't tolerate the ignorance, you know. And I
I
want you to know
appreciate
that
you
you are
all.
on the right path. You always been on the right path. I thank God for us to be able to connect.
Thank you. And you know what? I try to treat each and every one of you the same way I treat my son, my daughter, my
Yes, ma'am.
grandchildren. I call them my niece daughters because I met them when they were young and they're my children's age. And they treat me like a mother, like an auntie, like a sister, like everything.
Mhm.
We
Yes,
just
ma'am.
all hang out together and just it's all
Yes,
love.
ma'am.
Just gifted. Sonia, thank you for coming and welcome. I'm just speaking. Teresa Bailey. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking off of your fourth to Come and say hello to your elder. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
So,
ma'am. So, you
thank you
have
for
anything for
coming
me?
up.
Because I just came to show love. I didn't mean to interrupt your session.
Well,
I just wanted to, like,
I'm sorry
literally,
it
when
took
I
me.
opened up the package
I'm,
today, I
I'm
just
sorry
wanted
it
to
took
share it.
so
I
long to get
apologize.
there. But when I'm working on something, I call it an art. I put my best into it. If it's one stitch that's wrong, if there's something that I think that it needs, I'm not going to send it to you, give it to you until it's right. It might be past the deadline. You might get it for Christmas when it was supposed to be for Father's Day or something. But I'm slow. I'm slow when I cook, but
Hmm.
it's no
But
missing
it's gonna be
steps.
delicious when you eat it. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
also, I didn't mention the pockets. I showed my dad the pocket part, and I was like, "Dad, you're gonna enjoy this." He was like, "Wow, ARD, yeah." I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna enjoy it." Yeah,
Yeah.
he's looking forward to it. And I thank you so much because you didn't have to do it, and you know, I get it. Being a commission piece, but that wasn't anything like you genuinely wanted to do it before it even be a commission piece. And when I say that, it was just because of we had to make sure that you get something for like just your thought, your care, and the quality. We
Thank
know
you.
that.
Thank
And
you.
you're not even just worth that, you're worth even more. And we'll always continue to support you.
Well,
Always.
you
Always.
gave me the opportunity to show that you don't have to spend $20 a yard. Yes, it's fun when you find that delicious African fabric that's been hand dyed in some village and there's no pieces of fabric like it in the world. And especially when you can get the whole 6 yard piece. What? I'm like issuing it out. I'll buy the whole 6 yards because I don't want antibody to have empty of it. you know,
Yes,
and I've
ma'am.
pitched on it and
As
I've
they
pitched
say.
on it,
Yes, ma'am.
but you can use old jeans. His entire quilt, you guys, was made out of upcycled jeans and
Yes.
work shirts that were cut up. Now there's
Mhm.
labor in cutting them up, but it in the batting, cotton batting, but that made it a
Correct.
little heavier.
The
But
batting too, right?
that's
It gives it
what was
this. It gives it the heavy. It
requested.
gives it the weight. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
that's what you said your father wanted.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. One of them old country quilts. And you guys, my mother told me that
Exactly.
back in the days they put old coats inside quilts. They put one of my grandmothers I'd seen the cotton. It wasn't like this cotton. This cotton is just fine and it's needle punched, but
Mhm.
they used to have rolled up cotton that was thick and that they put in the quilts.
Mm.
I've seen people go out in the fields and when the machine that picks the cotton, like in the movie Cotton Comes to
Yes,
Harlem,
ma'am.
when it
Yes,
leaves it
ma'am.
on the bush or after it's picked and some ripens, I've seen people go out and pick that and put those inside the quilt.
Yes, ma'am.
So whatever you think the people on the mountain trains had, I mean the Trail of Tears or the wagon trains going west had store bought goods. No, they used what they had, and many of those quilts had straw in them, if they were lucky. If they were lucky.
And like I told you offline, right? This
Yes,
quote is from somebody that came from Arkansas. That's my dad.
I did
And
know that.
literally, just to share a little backstory, just high level. I'm not gonna go too deep. My
Yes,
dad
tell
was
them.
in the fields in Arkansas. He had to quit school to pick cotton, right? Through crop sharing and everything else to provide for their family that eventually helped us, right? It's a real thing, right? And my dad is 80 now, he's 81, thanks to God, with all his faculties. And when I think about how you did this and everything else that comes with it, not only does he appreciate it, he's thanking me, like, how did you even, like, what? Like, I'm like, Dad, like, God is present at all times. And I
You
thank you so much for putting love into this.
you
I
told
can't
me
wait for
that
him to have it.
And don't forget to tell them those three blocks in the back that are white, they stand for the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, because I knew
Yes, ma'am.
your
I got
father
them.
was
I was going to
religious.
talk about the cards, but I didn't want to talk about it online. But
Right. I know that
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
does not believe in the same thing, but I knew who I was making this quilt for,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's unspoken. So I just put it in there.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And he definitely will receive it well. I just can't wait for him to be able to fly with my mom and everyone else out here. And I should be out there pretty soon. They're on the East Coast right now. Um,
Yes.
yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to health, and at the same time, a lot of politics too that gets involved. So all in all, though, when I say it's love, and I thank you so much for
You're
really
welcome.
putting
I would
care
like
into
to
this.
meet them one
I
day.
thank you. Yes, ma'am. Hey, yeah,
All of y'all. All of
it'll
y'all.
be done. Yes, ma'am.
If you all get here, Francesca, you're never a burden. And she says that we are closer than our family because, we share the same exact passions. Our kids, like I have been in the family room in the den, and the den could hold like 20, 25 people. We're all there. We all had a meal together. Everybody's on a device. The TV is on. There's a game, a football game, basketball, and
Yes,
everybody's like,
ma'am.
and then you look up and it's like
And
everybody's
this
on
is a
something
lesson,
right next
right?
to each other. Yes.
You are speaking the truth, right? I even got caught guilty of this. I had a TV running, I had my phone going, my wife had her phone going, and we were trying to eat dinner. I was like, wait, what are we listening to? What one thing are we listening to?
Yes.
How about we cut all of this off and we
And
just sit
talk to
here
each
and
other.
eat?
Yes.
We
Yes.
pray without any distractions. We eat without any distractions. And we literally just be good human beings right now. And when I tell you that
Yes.
goes a long way, and that's something that I can't, like my mom and my dad, I can't, like, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but they showed us, what we might need later on. They couldn't have predict the iPhone 15. They couldn't have predict AI to be what it was when they taught us these things. Not at
Right.
all. They taught us certain things as being a good human being or being a good partner or being good to yourself that will always prevail over everything, you know.
And of
And
course,
that's when I had to take a step back because, I got what, 5 phones? Like I have a lot of stuff going on. And I had to take a step back and realize, like, look, at this time in these areas, we do not connect to anything at all. We don't connect to anything. We are offline. We are off grid for now.
yes. And you did share with me your father's background, and that's why I wanted to make the quilt in the manner that I did. I wanted to not just have whole big pieces of the blue denim, I wanted to show the patched, pieced together pieces
Exactly.
in there
Yes, ma'am.
because my grandmother didn't always have whole pieces of fabric. They
Yes,
were
ma'am.
pieces of dresses, pieces of whatever she had. And my dad came from North Carolina. He's
Hmm.
quit school after 8th grade because he had to help the family who were sharecroppers. And then
Exactly.
one year he said, "Daddy, don't plant a big crop this year because I'm going up Connecticut. I'm gonna marry that little girl Clara, and I'm gonna get married, Dad. I won't be here to help you get the crops in." And here am I, 75 years later.
Yeah.
But I knew the story. His story
Mhm.
was your dad's story, and I just wanted to give that part back to him.
And I thank you so much.
You're
So before
welcome.
I go ahead and get into a full sermon and bogart
Okay.
your whole life, I just wanted to tell you, Eagle
Well, thank
Amate,
you.
I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. Our family loves it too, and I can't wait because I'll call you directly when he receives it, so you can see
Yes. All
exactly,
right.
you
All
know.
right. Thank you. I
But you
go out
have a good
okay.
one.
Yes. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
You guys, that was a pleasant surprise. So he hooked that up with Dolores. I didn't know it. They had been trying to reach me just before it was time to go live. And I went in there and I brushed my teeth and I left the phone because I don't take my phone in the bathroom. So I looked at it, wasn't by my bedroom. Then they both called my cell phone and I didn't answer it because it was somewhere else. I have 50,000 projects. And yes, that was a commission quilt, meaning that he did pay for it. I didn't charge him. I don't charge you guys full price when you get things from me. Anybody who's a subscriber gets anything from me, I do a discount. I give you what the family would pay. My niece daughters came. They watched the the live where we went live and I got 1900 subscribers. They watched that over and over and over again. One saw it and then one was in another room. Then they showed the other one. So they knew how much the neck bone pillows were. I look one of them cash at me for a pillow and she sent full price. Brampton, hello, long time no see. Up here in the Northeast, Dark X is here. Lady Catherine is here, representing up here. But you guys, we had to wait a long time for summer, but summer did come, and I am so happy. So I'm looking all around to see all of the things that you're doing, and God is present in everything. And yes, I think he should have gotten his ARD should have gotten his quilt sooner, but I put my best into it, and it took longer than I thought. So it is what it is. But I did the best that I could. Maria says, say hi to Roscoe. Hey, Roscoe, brother in law. So I don't know. I know the normal Thursday lineup. Miss Shirley OG Gardner goes on at 7. Odom goes on at 9. The Garden State Gardener goes on. So the person that asked me about doing this isn't here, and we just go on. I will be working on that, and our treasured home is replying to God is everywhere. Yes, and you all, someone made the comment, Francesca, that we're closer than family because we share the passions before we tell our family the things that we are, a little bit hesitant to say. Although my family watches, and then they'll tell me, like, one day I said my granddaughter's age, and she went right in the chat, Nana, first of all. They say you love a good stretching. Yes, yes. So I don't know if anybody is on immediately. Vision preparedness usually goes live about 8 o'clock. Would any of you, all of you, we can wait a little while longer. Put exclamation mark GQUAT to drop your links. And if anybody is not connected with another channel, please connect with each other and let's stay together. In Brampton, I'd like to see what you have been sewing. Although you don't get to sew a lot in the summer, you're busy working in the garden. I wasn't rushing to sew tonight. My hands were tired. I didn't do a lot in the garden, but just doing all my exercises, just because some of you know that I just had a complete knee replacement 12 weeks ago. Just walking back and forth, going to the park, taking Mr. Hershey, going to the community garden, pushing my little cart, getting groceries, putting them away. And I'm going to cook some collards tomorrow, fresh from my friend's garden. I'm going to make some shrimp and grits. It was supposed to be this morning. I don't know who Nightbot. Oh, just gifted. Okay. Thank you. That's Sonia. just gifted. I watched you doing something for a long time the other night in the bushes, and I didn't get a chance to come back. But you guys, when I get off from here, I take off my glasses. I put my drops in my eyes, and you sometimes it look like Nightbot is putting gobbledygook in there. That would be me not putting my glasses on. Mike said it's raining there. You need to start something inside. I'm going to start a lot of comfrey. My arrow garden is totally empty. I'm going to start a lot of comfrey because I can put them all outside over the winter, and I want to make a lot of comfrey salve because my skin is healed, but I think it will help the aching in my legs. So everybody drop your link. You will be live with Yankee Sister. I will see if I will be in home in the morning. If I am, I will. And I'll be cooking shrimp and grits. I've already cooked my smoked turkey neck for my collards. Oh. And I took some chicken out for the meat. Clovis Gardner, I'm glad because I tried to find your channel and I couldn't find it so that I could connect with you after the live the other day. I'm so glad, you guys. And now that you all who follow me have watching me every week, I couldn't tell you that rag quilt was for ARD for his dad because I didn't want to mess up the surprise. But yep, I started on it, then I set it aside, then I started doing something else, and so I was telling you about my niece daughters. So they sent me full price for their FR Humphrey has a roast in the crock pot. Yes, ma'am, I'll take a piece, please. And I got the cornbread and the collards. I'll be over. I'll be over. Brenda's still working a hand turn applique quilt. Yes, it does take forever. It does take forever. I don't do the so much of the hand anything so much because I've got so many projects going that I can't even get a crossbody foam bag tonight before Saturday. I will have the ties on this one so that I can carry my own foam and have it. When my sister friend and she's the one, her and her daughter's a sommelier. A sommelier is a French word for a professional wine taster. And some of my other sister friends, one of which, and Joanne knows, I'm praying for her. She just had a heart and a kidney transplant a couple of weeks ago. She's doing well. My sister friend that helped me in the garden today just told me and said that her daughter couldn't call each of us individually, but that the surgery went well. So Francesca's going live at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard. So I will have you all, even if I say hi in the bushes and keep working. Lady Catherine says, have a good day. Thanks for let's stay together. And I love being a part of this family. Okay. You'll finish it at some point, Maria. I mean, Brampton is telling Maria she'll finish it. Those are works of art that take a while. That quilt that you see of the continent of Africa, that's taking me a while. I've been working on it for a year because I put each country in separately with the heat and bond. I traced around it, and I just need to do some quilting on it. But Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay. So now, Ego Wamote, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video out if you care to do so. Okay. See you Saturday, 6 p.m., you guys.